Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to talk about how many players I think Luton need to sign in this upcoming summer transfer window. Now, I'm not going to talk about certain players. I'm going to be talking about the positions on the pitch. What areas I think Luton need to recruit in. That's what this video is going to be all about. So let me know down in the video comments, how many players do you think Luton need to sign for this upcoming transfer window, and also what areas of the pitch Luton need to focus on a little bit more. Let me know those two things down below, and while you're down there, please smash the like button. It helps the video perform a lot better on YouTube. So we're going to start off with the goalkeeper department. We are sorted in that department. We've got 3 senior keepers at this moment in time who are under contract. Thomas Kaminski, Jack Walton and James Shea. I would argue all 3 keepers can play as a number 1 in League One. They are more than capable. And even if one of them does leave, we don't even need to sign a replacement, because for me, you don't need 3 senior keepers. You only need 2 senior keepers. And then your third choice needs to be a young up-and-coming keeper. That's all you need. You don't need 3 senior keepers. I think we're overdoing it a little bit there. So if one does go, we don't need to panic. And we don't need to sign a keeper. However, of course, if 2 of them do leave the football club, then yes, we're going to need to bring in another keeper in. But if you didn't know, in League One, the rules are slightly different compared to the Championship. So in League One, it's a 22-man squad, but you can have unlimited amount of goalkeepers. Goalkeepers don't get included in the final 22-man squad, whereas in the Championship, it's a 25-man squad, including goalkeepers. The wording is very weird. I don't understand it, but that's the League One squad rules. So we can have up to 8 keepers if we really want to, but of course we're not going to do that. But yeah, goalkeeper department, we are sorted. Moving on to left back. This is where I think we need to sign someone. Amari Bell has left, and I do believe we are quite short in that area. Amari Bell, he lacked that pace, didn't he? And you know, his legs were slowly going. I think the injuries caught up to him. So I do believe we need I would say a younger left back coming through, but someone with some experience. You know, I'm looking at mid-20s left back who can step up to the Championship. Because, look, not only are we looking at a left back who can play League One football, but if the football club does want to get back to the Championship, we need to be signing someone that has the potential to step up to that level. So that's an area which I do believe we need to recruit in. Sign a left back, and then Joe Johnson can compete with that player for that left back spot in League One. I do believe Joe Johnson will play a lot more. And because Luton are in that Johnson Paint Trophy competition, I know it's not called that, but it's the same competition. We're going to be playing more games. Also, we are in the earlier rounds of competitions like the FA Cup and the League Cup. So players are going to get a lot more minutes, especially the squad players. So I expect Joe Johnson being one of those to have a lot more minutes compared to last season. So a left back, I do believe, is definitely needed. I don't believe Alfie Doughty should play that role. He should be a lot further forward. Moving over to the right back role, and I do want to say it is very difficult to predict who's going to be staying at the football club, as there are lots of question marks across the whole team. And also there's a big question mark over formation. Is Matt Bloomfield going to change it? And I've already made a video on this, so if you haven't already, make sure you go and check that out. But I do believe Matt Bloomfield will be switching to a 4 at the back. No more wing backs, no more 3 centre backs. I think it's going to be a flat back 4. Now, in that right back role, we've got Hashi and Walters. Isaiah Jones, I could argue, can play there, but he's a lot better further forward. So you've got 2 players who could play as a right back. Walters, I think, will play a lot more this upcoming season. I think in the Championship, he was a little bit inexperienced. I don't think playing multiple systems helped him at all, really. And also not playing with a settled backline also had an impact. But I do believe in League One, he will feature a lot more. However, with Hashi, he didn't even feature much under Matt Bloomfield. And I do believe he's going to leave the football club. And if he does leave, we're then going to need to replace him and sign a right back. So I do believe a right back will be getting signed in this upcoming summer window. So already we're at 2 players, a left back and also a right back. Moving on to the centre backs. As I've already said, we are switching formation, I believe. I'm very strong on that. I do believe we are going to change system. And at this moment in time, we've got 6 centre-backs. So we don't need to recruit a centre-back. We've got Burke, we've got Anderson, we've got Holmes, we've got McGuinness, we've got Makosso, and we've got Ted and Menji. That is 6 centre-backs. And then you've got Tom Lockyer floating in the background, who might sign a new deal, depending on how good his rehab goes. You don't need another centre-half. But I've got a feeling we've told a couple of those centre-backs they are free to leave the football club. I do believe McGuinness and Makosso will definitely be staying. Regards to the rest, I've got no clue. I really don't. And I've got a feeling a couple are going to go. And if 3 go, then you're going to need to bring another one in. But if only 1 or 2 goes, then you don't really need to bring any more. So centre-back might be an area which we recruit in. We might not. It's very difficult to answer that question as of right now. So let's just say we're not going to recruit a centre-back, despite having so many at the football club under contract. So moving on to the midfield, we're also quite stacked in the midfield, believe it or not. You've got Nakamba, technically Chong could play in that position. You've got Zach Nelson, you've got Baptiste, you've got Walsh, you've got Clark, you've got Asgard, you've got Fane. So you've got 8 players there who could play in midfield. I don't think we're going to be buying many midfielders. And if we are going to, I think we would do it to replace one of them. And I do believe Nakamba will be leaving the football club. I don't think he's quite cut it since we've re-signed him on a permanent deal. Of course, he could play League One football. In fact, all these players could play League One football. But they've not proven they could do it in the Championship when they were proven Championship players. So what makes me believe they're going to do it in League One? I think you need to clear out because you've suffered back-to-back relegations. You need to change the mentality amongst the group. So we do need some players to leave, but it's very hard to do that when they are under contract. But I do believe Nakamba will be leaving the football club. Despite having a fully stacked midfield, I do want to sign a defensive midfielder. I want to sign a defensive midfielder who's a bit like Nichols, a really old school, someone who's not afraid to dive in, someone who wins the ball back and give it to the creative players. Because our midfield is quite creative. When you've got Clark, you've got Asgard, you've got Baptiste. Walsh is quite a forward-thinking midfielder. Zach Nelson as well. They are creative midfielders. Fane, we're still unsure about him yet. But yeah, our midfield is very creative. And they need wide attacking players to help them out. And that's where I'm going to move on to. So let's move on to that right wing spot. I do believe we're going to need another right attacker. We've got Isaiah Jones who can play there. But that's it. We need another right attacking player. We've got Ali. Ali can play pretty much across the front 3. So that's quite handy. But we need another right attacking player. As we've let go of Victor Moses, we need a replacement. So bring in a right attacking player to help improve in that department. Someone who can score goals, someone who can create chances. I want someone who's very direct, who can run at defenders. So yeah, right winger is definitely needed. And I would also argue and say we need a left winger as well. We're unsure what the future of Alfie's position is. We don't know if he's going to be leaving the football club. We don't know if he's going to be playing as a left back. We don't know if he's going to be playing as a left winger. We don't even know if Ali's not going to play in that role. Ali might move to a striker role. So many questions we've got right now. But I do believe a left winger and a right winger are 2 positions on the pitch which we need to recruit in. And it will help the situation so much better for Luton going forward. We lacked goals last year. We need to figure out a way to score goals this year. And finally, the striker role. I do believe we need a striker. We did not score enough goals, as we all know. Morris was a massive letdown. The same with Elijah Adebayo. Adebayo won't be playing until January because he's recovering from that long-term injury. Brown, I think his future is unknown, despite Matt Bloomfield saying he liked him when he was playing him. And then Nordas, we're not too sure with Nordas, if I'm being honest with you. But I do believe 1 or 2 strikers will be leaving the football club, meaning we need to bring in another striker in. So just to recap on what I think we're going to need. Left back, right back, centre mid who's more defensive minded, a right attacker, a left attacker and a striker. So I'm predicting at least 6 players for Luton to try and sign. And it might be a lot more depending on how many players leave the football club. I'm sure I will be making another video similar to this, towards the start of the season, when we know a little bit more about the future of certain players, who has left, who is staying, and so on. Hopefully I've explained it okay and you guys understand what I believe we need to recruit in. It's very difficult to explain when we've got so many players at the football club and we just don't know about their futures. So yeah, I believe we need at least 6 players to bring in this summer window. Let me know down in the video comments how many players you think we need to sign and what areas of the pitch we need to bring in. And yeah, that is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.